You ever see that movie, The Matrix? That scene where Morpheus gives Neo the choice, red pill or blue pill? Picking the red pill, man, that meant like facing this reality way weirder than any fiction. And that's kind of what we're doing today, diving into this crazy world of quantum entanglement. We're going to see if there's any truth to that whole, are we all living in a simulation thing.
We're going to break it all down using this article by Patrick Van Stokum. He's a big AI guy, really knows his stuff, and he dug deep into this question.
And the cool thing is, he doesn't just toss out sci-fi ideas. He actually backs it up with real science, especially this thing called quantum entanglement.
You're familiar with that?
I've heard of it, yeah, but...
Basically, it's like two particles are like linked up in this totally bizarre way. You mess with one, the other one changes instantly. It doesn't even matter how far apart they are.
No way, seriously.
Yeah, it's like they're connected outside of how we understand space and time.
Whoa, that's wild.
Even Einstein and Kemon, the guy knew a thing or two about physics. Even he was totally thrown by this. Called it spooky action at a distance.
Spooky doesn't even cover it. It's like those particles have their own secret communication line or something, totally breaking the laws of physics as we know them.
Right.
And that's what makes people wonder, what if maybe, just maybe, our reality is more like some super complex computer simulation?
Exactly. Like we're catching a glimpse behind the curtain of reality, seeing the code glitching out.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Peeking behind the scenes of reality itself. But how does this entanglement thing even work? So these entangled particles, they're like little glitches in the matrix, huh? But are we just talking about a cool idea here, or is there like real science behind it?
Well, this is where things get really interesting. The article mentions this big breakthrough by Google. They used their quantum computer, right? And they managed to entangle over 50 qubits.
Okay, hold on. For those of us who aren't, quantum physicists, what's a qubit again?
Think of them like the building blocks of information, but in the quantum world. Instead of just oblases and ones like our regular computers, qubits can be in multiple states at the same time.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it's like imagine a light switch that can be on, off, or both at the same time.
Okay, mind-blowing stuff, but I get it. So entangling 50 of these superpowered qubits, that's got to be a big deal, right?
Huge. It's like going from building with Legos to messing with individual atoms.
So does this mean Google's about to accidentally create a simulated world or something?
Probably not. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Look, this breakthrough is super exciting, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't automatically prove we're living in a simulation.
Right. Got to keep our feet on the ground even when we're exploring these crazy ideas.
Exactly. The point is, this breakthrough, along with all the research on entanglement, it shows us that reality itself works in ways we're just starting to understand.
Kind of like in The Matrix, right? They thought they knew their world, and bam, there's this whole other level underneath.
Exactly. We're starting to see that the universe is way more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined.
So we've talked about entanglement, that spooky action thing, maybe even a peek at the code of reality, right?
And Google's making waves with those qubits, getting us closer to really getting this stuff.
But the big question, the one everyone's thinking, is this it? Are we in a simulation?
It's the big one, all right. And like any good deep dive, we ain't here to give you the answer. More like handing you the tools to figure it out yourself.
That's what I love about these deep dives, man. Taking these crazy sci-fi ideas, and suddenly it's like, wait, I never thought about it that way before.
Exactly. It's about opening up your mind, not jumping to conclusions. Like that article we talked about, it ends with this line, right? Perhaps we will find out that truth really is stranger than fiction.
Man, and that's what's so exciting. Even if we never totally figure out the simulation thing, just asking the questions changes how we see everything.
It's like, remember that feeling when you really got the whole, like, how massive space is, or what's going on inside our own brains?
Yeah. Makes you feel tiny and amazed all at once. Okay, so before we wrap things up, got to leave you with something to chew on. Imagine, right, scientists can perfectly predict what one of those entangled particles is going to do.
Okay.
I mean, they're basically controlling the other one. Even if it's like galaxies away, what would that even mean,
Now that's a question.
Some seriously big stuff to think about. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mind-bending possibilities of quantum entanglement and what it might reveal about the true nature of our universe. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another journey into the most fascinating topics out there.